What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined by the Super Bowl 60 program right now, also known as Michael Hurley. And we are a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe on the Pat's Chat channel, on Patriots Press Pass, everything. Turn on notifications for when a new video drops on the channel. Michael, I'm at the Super Bowl. I made the Super Bowl.
Nice.
Congratulate me.
I have to, I'd be remiss to not right off the bat. I've already told you. But if anyone's listening, this may be when you switch to YouTube because Doug looks H'er than HD. He's the HSD that's ever D'd.
I'm in 5 dimensions right now.
Just sparkling, well lit, Great camera you've got set up there. But no, you're in the very familiar room that you have been in many times.
Yep.
I asked you before we came on if it's the same. You said yes, but it's a little different because the Patriots are back in it. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I've been actually in this exact same room for Radio Row 10 years ago for Super Bowl 50. The Patriots were not in that Super Bowl. They are in this Super Bowl. And I also would be remiss not to congratulate you on joining Boston Sports Journal. So congratulations on that as well. People have a place to check out your work regularly now.
Yeah, I was excited to get back into writing until I was like an hour and a half, 2 hours into it. And I said, writing, this old thing. Talking way easier, but you know what? It's good to have the outlet again. So thank you.
Well, make sure to read what Michael wrote on BostonSportsJournal.com, and you can read all my stuff at BostonHerald.com too. But I've been doing that for a while. It's special that Michael's doing it again.
That's true. You had the big McDaniels story over the weekend.
McDaniels' stories, yeah, those are fun to write. So check those out. But Patriots in the Super Bowl. We're going to have media night tonight. So it'll be fun to see all the hoopla and hijinks. I actually already at the hotel today, I was in the elevator and then some guy got on with plaid pants, a plaid suit jacket, and a sticker on his chest that said press. And he just looked really embarrassed to be out in public already like that. And he was like, yeah, I'm going there too. I was like, all right, that's fine. But I don't know who it was.
It's many hours away. So that's a little early.
It's on
prep.
him.
I meant to say the reason I held this up, Doug, because you can flip to page 4 and you can see my name on it as
no way.
Editorial assistance there. So big week for me. So if you enjoy any Super Bowl program stories, just know my eyes were laid on them many times. But I have it later. I don't think we want to start with Super Bowl Media Day stories, but we've got plenty. So I think maybe later we'll get into some of the memories from these because it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
It sets the players up. It puts too much pressure on the players, I think, to have this live prime time
to
event.
Perform. Yeah.
And then it's you've got NFL Network people crawling onto the risers and interviewing people, and you can't hear anything. It's kind of a silly thing, but we'll get into that later. I want to ask you a question, Doug.
Ask it away.
Why do I keep kind of thinking? So the line came out immediately, 4.5 points. It stayed there. The Seahawks, great team. It seemed fine. We've probably talked about it already. That's probably about right. Why do I keep getting the feeling that the Patriots are going to win the game? And I know it's they made the Super Bowl. They win a lot of games. But there's just something about the way that they're kind of, I don't want to say overlooked, but it just seems like a fait accompli that the Seahawks are going to win this game in many people's minds. And I'm just kind of, I don't know, something in my brain is resisting it.
Can I tell you why you feel that way?
Yeah.
Because the Patriots have lost one game in the last 4 months. That's why you feel that way. Yeah. And I don't think that could be overlooked. I know how simplistic that sounds, but people keep expecting the Patriots maybe not to lose these games, but they haven't gotten blown out all year. So people expecting a blowout in the Super Bowl, I can't really imagine that scenario happening. And the fact that they just do keep on winning and winning and winning makes me feel like that's legitimately possible in this game too. I haven't actually necessarily picked a winner yet. I'm sure people will ask me along the week and I'll have to come up with something on the fly, but I might settle on a Patriots win. I don't know. I think that the Seahawks are probably the more talented team. Patriots have the better quarterback. And they're pretty evenly matched, honestly.
Yeah. It's just, I think the Patriots have the better quarterback, which is, I don't know, if you're power ranking the importance, that's 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty significant. The Seahawks have the best skill player. It's a good defense, but I just think the way we've seen the Patriots play defense is I can't say that they're gonna get steamrolled. To your point, like I don't see this being an unfair fight. And I like Mike Vrabel. I admittedly don't know what kind of coach Mike McDonald is in game. Everything like we're still getting to know him as a coach. Yeah. He's got crazy eyes, which frightens me a little bit. Like
he spends 30 minutes per week with his child,
roughly.
Yeah,
roughly. Like sometimes he might, count the commute in that 30 minutes. So you're only getting like 7 minutes with the kid. I'm not sure how he figures that out, but I don't know. I mean, the Seahawks haven't lost in probably longer. I think their last loss came before the Patriots lost to the Bills, which was week 13 or 14, whenever that was. So it's the same deal. And I do still think the Seahawks should be favored. And I guess if like I had to pick a winner, I'd say that. But ultimately, like you said, you haven't made a pick yet. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever watched the Super Bowl, but like a lot of the times those really turn out to be useless. Like I had the Patriots winning comfortably over the Rams. Technically true. Technically a 10-point win is a huge Patriots win. I didn't have it at 13-3, Right. I had the Patriots covering and winning against the Falcons. Technically got the pick right. However, no, like you didn't know what's going to happen in that game. So like we can lay these things out, and then the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl is going to happen, and it's going to be like, but I think, you know what it is? That happened last week. The fourth quarter hit. You're staring at disaster in the face, and they emerged. So I guess that's sticking with me a little bit.
I will say that obviously I don't see a full, complete picture of it, but the 12s, as they like to call themselves, the Seahawks fans, from what I've seen so far, seem very, very confident in a Seahawks win.
Okay.
I think, and I've talked about this before, but I think the problem here with everyone thinking, yes, you're doing it perfectly.
Okay, because it's backwards to me. Yeah. My right, your left. I wanted to make sure.
I think the problem is that people have only watched this Patriots team during the playoffs. And we've talked about this before. No one was watching the Patriots during the regular season. And quite honestly, up until a certain point in the season, there was probably no real reason to be watching the Patriots this year because they were expected to win, 7-8 games, and they wouldn't matter in the postseason.
And they had a lot of boring matchups. Like, you're playing the Falcons, you're playing the Panthers. Great.
Right.
Enjoy that.
NFC South versus AFC East, not exactly must-see TV most weeks. They weren't on prime time a whole lot. They were playing a lot of 1 o'clock games. So people have seen a team with a really good defense and a struggling quarterback. And obviously we've seen the extreme opinions of comparing Drake May to like Brad Johnson or Trent Dilfer, which is ridiculous because he was an MVP candidate this season.
I'm not crediting Cam Newton for entering the zeitgeist of this conversation.
I've seen other people say
okay.
He's going to be like, he's the worst quarterback to play in a Super Bowl. But like, that's genuinely people who've only watched him during the playoffs.
Can we get them on the pod?
Off the playoffs.
We got to get those people on the pod. Not Cam.
Cam said no.
I would like Cam on Funky. What if we wait till Funky Friday? Then he knows like we're deep in the Camness.
That is true.
How could the runner-up or winner of the MVP award be one of the worst quarterbacks in his second year?
Right.
Like if I would have a better leg to stand up if I said Sam Darnold fits that bill better than Drake May.
I mean, that's the thing that I feel like people are still kind of ignoring is that Sam Darnold is still the same human being as he was when he was on the Jets, but I don't think anyone expects him. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe all of his DNA has changed at this point. Maybe he's completely reset as a human being.
It's possible. Yeah, I don't know. I guess
like he was still the guy who was absolutely terrible and looked like a complete draft bust over the first 3 or 4 years of his career. And people still don't fully trust him either, though, obviously. I think he proved a lot against the Rams. But no, I think that people are overlooking the Patriots because of Drake May, which feels crazy.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I remember distinctly Week 5 Buffalo. Mm-hmm. Chris Collinsworth watched Drake May do something, and he did the watch this, and you're like, Collinsworth is in. It took until that moment because I think the first quarter he's like, this is something when I watch Drake May, I don't like it. He looks down at the rush, he doesn't keep his eyes up on the field, and then by the third quarter when he's stiff arming linebackers and throwing on the run, Collinsworth is literally fainting in the booth. So he was like, we saw that conversion in real time, but then to your point, like. They weren't in prime time again for a while, right?
Right? No, absolutely not.
They had later they had the Jets on Thursday.
Yeah. Which, I mean, who's watching that, you know? We are.
Other than us, yeah. And
The
then they had
sickos.
the Monday night Giants.
Who's watching that?
Yeah, I mean, it's
not these casuals.
True. And then the Sunday night Ravens, where was Drake?
People are watching that.
That was more about Derrick Henry getting benched than Drake May, though he threw for 380 that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it's a slow welcome, and last year was kind of a wash. But yeah, it's excuse me, it's one of those things where even I maybe that's where I get hung up.
Yeah.
Because for I guess the Patriots to win, you need that MVP quarterback.
Well, like I wanted to ask that. So
I don't think you can win another whatever the hell you call the AFC Championship game in the Super Bowl. Like, you need Drake May to once again be the driver. He's been a passenger, for lack of a better term, for the bulk of the playoffs.
Wow. You're sounding very Cam Newton. It's not even Funky Friday yet.
I mean, has he not?
No, it's true. No, you need Drake May to play like he did during the regular season, which is difficult to do against another really good defense. I think that is why he's struggled like he has at times during this postseason. But I think you do need him to overcome that. I did want to ask you, like, what are the things the Patriots absolutely have to do? What are the mismatches that they have to exploit in this game to win? And I will start off with one. Seahawks offensive line is good, but I do think they could be exploited up the middle with the strength, really, what people around the league believe is the strength of the Patriots defense, which is their interior defensive line. I think Milton Williams could potentially take over this game at times. I think that Christian Barmore could. Even guys like Corey Durden, who no one other than his close friends and family had heard of before this season, can take over on early downs. Leonard Taylor III has had a decent back end of the season. Kairos Tonga has been strong this year. That probably is their biggest strength on defense. And it is somewhat of a weakness on the Seahawks. I know Gray Zabel has a ton of potential as a rookie guard, but
so does Quinn Miners.
Right.
And Milton Williams ate him alive.
Exactly. And their biggest weakness is at their other guard spot, Anthony Bradford. He had a 48.8 PFF grade this season. Really struggled in pass protection, 36.7, let up a ton of pressures. And their center is fine, but like the strength of their offensive line is on the tackles, which they're not really mitigating much on the edges for the Patriots.
Yeah, I wanted to check what Jared Wilson's PFF grade, because that's a good comparison if you're just talking guard, if we're doing guard talk. So his grade this year was 49.9. And if you ask Patriots fans, you know, how would you rate Jared Wilson's season, you would say bad. So you have a similar comparison there. Yeah,
I've watched Anthony Bradford get absolutely abused at times in games. Yeah. And the thought of him going up against Milton Williams or Christian Barmore should be slightly concerning for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and so with Milton Williams, you're going to get elite top-level snaps out of him 10 to 12 times in the game. Like, there will be 10 reps where you're like, Jesus. And I think Barmore is probably pretty close to there. It depends on, you know, how they approach it, if they double Williams, whatever. But, like, Barmore is just as impactful, I think. And with a guy like Durden that you mentioned, you might only need, like, one big play from it. You got one in the first drive last week. Tonga is, like, every time that man's on the field, he is bulldozing someone in the backfield, getting held, wreaking havoc in some way in the pass and the run game. So it really is one of those things. Like, I don't expect national commentators to go out on ESPN and talk about the Patriots interior defensive line. Like, I don't think that's how you hype up a Super Bowl, but it really
it's how we do it, though.
It can screw everything up. Like, Sam Darnold doesn't move. Like, he doesn't run. He can throw on the run. He's agile, but he's not a super athlete. And I think the second you get into, he is playing injured, as we know, like a real injury, you get into his kitchen, you mess things up, like that can really disrupt things. And I think that's almost more important than the back end with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, he's got to run his route, you know? Yeah. You're going to need that time. And if it's disrupted right off the bat, you can exploit that and diminish that. But I looked at another area. So the Seahawks, this is not straight pass rush and pressure. I don't know where some of you smart people get all of your stats. I'm sure you have them. But just sack rate. Like, the Seahawks are tied for 11th in the NFL this year in sack rate at 7.8% of passing attempts against. They get a sack, which is good, right? Good. Like, that's very good. However, Denver ranks first. Houston ranks 9th. and the Chargers ranked 10th. So it's like
it's faced 3 better already. Yeah.
It's almost like a mini vacation for the offensive line when it comes to facing, you're out of the top 10, which isn't to say it's the same. It's more of an interior threat than Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson on the edges just roasting you. So are you up to that task? Like we've talked about Onwenu being sneaky, rock solid the whole postseason. Yep. I think
most underrated player on the Patriots this season.
We didn't mention him until I said we haven't mentioned him all playoffs after 3 games. I think Bradbury's been fine, and Wilson has given up a few pressures and sacks, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf said. So I think that is, if you can protect there, and then let's say there's a bust, I think it's going to be part of the game plan. Like, hey, Drake May, run away from the 300-pound man if he breaks to the line and gain 6 yards and don't take a sack. And I think they can do that. And I think that's one of those things where it's like, if you can avoid all the sacks you've been taking. Because it's a different type of pass rush, the whole offense could, instead of 2nd and 13, it's 2nd and 6, and then you run it, and then it's 3rd and 1, and then you get 2 chances at it, et cetera, et cetera. So I think we are greasy football dudes right now. We are in the friggin' trenches. We're not talking about your wide receivers and your running backs and your corner. We are all talking about the big dudes because we're just football guys right now.
We are true football guys. I want to stay in the trenches as well, because I think related to the Patriots interior defensive line being among their biggest strengths, obviously another one of their major strengths this season has been their run defense. And the Seahawks so far this season, including the postseason, rank 17th in rush EPA per play. And they rank, I'm pulling up success rate right now, they rank 23rd. And they lost Zach Charbonnet, which is a huge loss for them.
All their rushing touchdowns.
Like to put this in a Patriots-Seahawks equivalent, like it's not the exact same thing as removing Ramondre Stevenson or Trevion Henderson, but like they were a 1-2 punch there. They had different roles in the Patriots running backs, but like if you remove one of those guys, that weakens you as a whole. And Walker still is a big enough running back to get it between the tackles and score touchdowns, but Charbonnet was obviously viewed by the team as being better at doing that. And listen, I would be absolutely shocked if the Seahawks were able to run the ball really at all against the Patriots in this game.
I would agree. It's just been impossible. And now it's different. It's different when Jared Stidham's the quarterback.
It is.
But I still think Justin Herbert, that was so different because that offensive line was so bad, the Chargers. Yeah. I think Stroud's more of a good comparable. Like if Stroud is comfortable and able to operate, like he can beat you. They made it uncomfortable for him while having their best rushing defense performance ever. Yeah. So it can be done. It will be harder, I think. I think Darnold's better than should I say it?
Say it. Say it with your chest.
Do I think Sam Darnold is better than CJ Stroud? Right now I do. I don't think that's crazy.
No, I don't think that's crazy. I think the stats probably bear it out this season as well.
And it wasn't just the Patriots game. It was the Steelers game before it. It was the whole season. Like this, if I'm just ranking my 2025 quarterbacks, Darnold's clearly better than CJ Stroud. So it's more difficult. Like they will give up points, but I do wonder when they get in the red zone. Like Charbonnet I just had it up, 12 rushing touchdowns, and Walker only had 5. Like you said, that doesn't mean Walker can't do it.
No. But Walker is a really good running back.
Walker's, but when it comes to 3rd and goal from the 6, 3rd and goal from the 4, maybe he's not as good at having this. We've seen guys have a nose for the end zone, like guys that can do it and can't do it. Say like, I don't know, Patriots wise, I don't know, Lawrence Maroney versus LeGarrette Blount. Like some guys
good comp
know how to get in there and other guys not so much. So it's a factor, and I don't think field goals are going to win you this game. You might ultimately win by a field goal, but you're going to have to punch it in the end zone. So it's a big one. I hate to talk about flashy running backs and stuff like that. More. Can we get back into the lineman talk?
Hey, I mean, we're talking line. We're talking defensive line here.
What do you think Thayer Munford's availability is going to be like?
He's been sick this week, so it's a really good question. That's a real dilemma. Who cares about Drake May's illness? Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Thayer Munford Jr.'s illness.
Yeah, maybe is it too late to change the headline of our podcast.
What is Thayer Munford's availability? I did want to talk about one slightly sexier matchup, and that is one that's certainly not a potential weakness or something the Patriots can exploit, but we've talked about before, fascinated to see Christian Gonzalez versus Jackson Smith-Njigba. And from the way that Christian Gonzalez was talking last week, seems like that could be a matchup that we see a lot more this week. He noted that in, week 2 last year, Smith-Njigba played a ton more in the slot. So you're seeing a lot of Marcus Jones in that game. Gonzalez told me when we covered Smith-Njigba twice, I believe, the entire game. So we figured to see that a lot more. And listen, Christian Gonzalez might not be Patrick Surtain II, but if there are 5 cornerbacks that you want to choose to potentially eliminate Jackson Smith-Njigba from a game, then Christian Gonzalez is one of them that you're picking across the league, right?
Right. I wish I knew this was on the agenda. Maybe I would have gone back. Smith-Njigba had 12 for 117 against the Patriots last year. He
did not catch a single pass against Christian Gonzalez.
Who was he beating up on last year?
I think it must have been Marcus Jones. I can look it up as we talk.
As we've mentioned many times, everything last year is just in this black hole of.
Oh yeah, no. Like if you're a Seahawks fan, you're like, oh, he's already beat this Patriots defense. No. It's a different defense.
I'm just saying, I don't remember anything about last season. Anytime we bring it up, we're like, wait, that happened. But something I found interesting in my research. So 3 times this year, Smith-Njigba has caught 9 passes. That's his season high. Mm-hmm. They lost 2 of those games.
Right. Yeah.
2 of their 3 losses have come when Smith-Njigba had his season high in catches, which I find, I don't think that means you leave him alone and let him beat you. Like sort of like when you're facing prime Kobe Bryant, you're like, let him get 70 and stop everyone else and you win the game. Yeah. I don't think that's the case, but I just found that a little bit curious where it's like, huh. You would think that the more he catches the ball, the better off they are. Right. One was a game they scored 13 points.
There's usually probably a reason why they're forcing it to him, probably at the end of games.
Yeah, I guess so. They lost to the Niners. They scored 13 points in that game, and they lost to the Rams. They scored 19 points in that game, which I'm guessing 2 of their lower outputs of the year.
It's like the reverse of the stat of like if you run the ball this many times, then you're gonna. Someone's real loud behind me. I don't know. Some guy.
Welcome to Pat's Chat.
He's being real annoying. He's like talking to people while they're live on air.
Is he being a jokester?
I think he's being a little bit of a prankster. I think he just kissed someone.
Oh, you know who the worst?
Kiss me.
It's not time yet for Media Day stories. The worst prankster of them all was Archie Manning.
Cooper?
Not Archie. Archie. No disrespect. I respect my elders. Cooper Manning in like a question mark suit. It's like, you're ruining every interview, and it's not funny.
Where was I before we were talking about that? What were we talking about?
We were talking about Smith-Njigba. You were saying it's the inverse of.
It's the inverse of if you run the ball this many times, you're going to win. It's like, if you throw the ball to Jackson Smith-Njigba too many times, it probably means you're trailing late in the game and you want to win the game. So it's an interesting thing to say, but as Mike Vrabel said, it might not be an important thing to say.
So,
did you want to know who Smith-Njigba beat last year?
1 second, just to cap that, then you can tell me he went over 90 yards 13 times.
It's a lot.
They went 10-3, which is all of their losses were in there. But I don't know. That's a fire you don't really want to play with. Who did Smith-Njigba beat up on last year against the Patriots?
So most of it was Marcus Jones. He had 5 catches for 48 yards on Marcus Jones. He had 1 catch for 16 yards on Marco Wilson. Do you remember the Marco Wilson experience?
If it happened last year, no. Sorry, Marco.
One catch for 8 yards on Jonathan Jones. And then you get into zone where he had 1 for 8 yards, 1 for 7 yards against Anthony Jennings, 1 for 6 yards against Devy, 1 for 5 yards against Duggar, 1 for 3 yards against Peppers. And the funniest one is 1 for 24 yards against Keon White. So I don't think we're going to see Keon White covering Jackson Smith-Njigba in this game.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was like a 4-yard crosser that went for 24 yards. And it's like, well, what are we really doing? So
it was majority against Marcus Jones.
And that was one thing I don't remember about last year. That was the same year where they had Christian Gonzalez and they faced Puka Nacua in the Rams, and they had him cover Allen Robinson, DeMarcus Robinson,
Cooper Kupp as well.
Which Robinson did he cover?
DeMarcus.
Allen Robinson, not so much. But
against
DeMarcus
the Seahawks,
Robinson.
so he covered DK Metcalf and did well against him.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like, not to get too excited about something that might not happen.
Yeah.
But if the Patriots are like, we're using Gonzalez on Smith and Jigba and figuring the rest out. That'd be so fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Like we haven't seen that since the Gilmore days, which was it was spectacular. So I hope that happens. I don't know that I still believe he's largely unguardable. He gets open. His body control, even if he's covered to catch passes, like he's just one of those guys. Right. So he's going to be a problem. But man, that'd be more fun than if they use like Jones with a safety help.
Oh yeah,
or Davis.
And this is a Pat's Chat exclusive. This will eventually be on the Boston Herald. But some fun facts about Christian Gonzalez and Jackson Smith and Jigba. They were in the same high school class. They grew up about 30 miles apart from one another.
Good
Lord.
That was crazy.
In the Dallas area, Jackson Smith and Jigba played Oregon during his sophomore season, but it was the year before Christian Gonzalez transferred there. And then obviously they played last season, but Smith and Jigba's in the slot. Now he plays outside. So they've like they never even played in high school because they were in different divisions or conferences or whatever. So they've like narrowly avoided each other throughout their entire lives. And it's all building up to this one potential moment where they're going to face off against each other. So it's actually, and drafted 3 picks apart. We already had that conversation of, should the Patriots have taken Smith and Jigba? Ultimately, doesn't really matter because both teams got incredible first-round steals in both players. So I don't know. It's just for a lot of reasons a very fun matchup.
Pretty cool. Not 1986 guys. They are famously 2002 guys, born a few months apart. I'm going to give Smith and Jigba.
That's ridiculous. 2002.
I know. I was listening to Taking Back
I was
Sunday.
a fully formed human being in 2002.
Driving a 1,000-pound vehicle fast because I didn't understand danger. Jackson Smith and Jigba gets the edge in hometown name, though.
Yeah.
Rockwall. Nacogdoches. That's where he was born. I don't know where he grew up. Born, here's a fun fact. This will make the broadcast. Born on Valentine's Day.
Wow, there we go.
Isn't that sweet?
That is very sweet.
Yeah, ultimately, like, he's it, right? Like, don't you just feel like they can cover Cooper Kupp and they can, like, AJ Barnum will get some plays, but it just feels like they can keep that offense in check. And if you have Drake May, now I know sometimes on a flea flicker, it's it's a big deal. That's what
schemed up.
That's what Dr. David Chow says. Like, oh well, it was a nice pass, but it was a flea flicker, so don't really. If you get those downfield throws to Booty, to Douglas, like just the way we saw, like we almost forget what Drake May was like for most of the year, where he had that stretch of like 6 straight games with like 2 touchdowns and a rating of better than 100. Like all those times where like the only people that have done this are Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and maybe Peyton Manning and Drew Brees.
Beat Tom Brady in some of these stats. Yeah.
Like he set Patriots passing records this year, and it's like it has been a while, I guess, but theoretically, right? That's normal. The season it gets to December, it gets cold, it gets windy. You should be in a decent spot there. Like maybe it's. I'm trying not to overdo the maybes.
No, I think it's fair.
That feels possible. That that guy that we saw light it up. Like I don't think he's going to throw for 404 touchdowns against a defense this good, but it's just more about if he makes some of those impactful throws, you could outscore the Seahawks. Like I'm just feeling it.
And listen, Cooper Kupp obviously still an effective wide receiver, but he did not go over 100 yards all season this year. One of his best games came in the playoffs, but in the regular season had less than 600 yards. It's worthy of a conversation as well, because if you had asked probably us and most Patriots fans, who would you rather have for the 2025 season, Cooper Kupp or Stephon Diggs? I think it almost unanimously probably would have been Kupp, right?
I don't know, because I was Kupp.
You're a Kupp guy.
I felt like I was on an island. I felt like I was on Kupp Island.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't feel as though many were in the Kupp camp.
Kupp signed before Diggs, though, like considerably before, right?
Yeah, because
he got
Diggs
cut
was
by
later.
the Rams. Diggs signed later.
And the Kupp thing was sort of an open secret for months. You know, they tried to trade him. That didn't work.
Yeah, so he signed on March 14th. I think Diggs signed on like March 22nd or something like that. So it was only a week, but in free agency, that week kind of matters.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
I don't know. It's not as much of a storyline, obviously. Oh, he signed on March 28th.
couple weeks. But I have a very small sample size anecdote because we're talking about Drake May coming off a bye. He's done it twice. You know, he did start last year in Arizona. You might recall. I don't. I do remember this one. It was he was 19 for 23, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The pick was off of Kayshon Boutte's hands.
Oh yeah, can't have that again.
Right over the middle, 4 rushes for 14 yards and touchdown. So that's a pretty good game.
Yep.
Interception notwithstanding, wasn't his fault. This year it was the Bills game.
Yep.
Not as good as a passer.
No.
He was 14 for 23, 155 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick, a 62.7 rating. So really off the norm, but he did rush 4 times for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. The team scored 31 points. I think if you scored 31 points in the Super Bowl, I really like your chances. I know that's a hot take.
No, and I mean, they got out to a 21-0 lead in that game?
Yeah, they fell apart in the second half. It was bad, but
I
don't know that you have like a gauge on Drake May after the bye based on 2 random games, one of which when Gerard Mayo was your coach and everything was a mess.
Right.
But there it is. That's the information.
I do think one other element here, and maybe this is us being too flowery positive about this, but your goal is to eliminate Smith and Jigba on the Seahawks offense. The Patriots do a better job of spreading the ball around on offense, and their best cornerback is Devin Witherspoon. The rest of their defensive backs are decent, but like you can play keep away from a good cornerback on the Seahawks better than the Seahawks can play keep away against Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, I've seen people say like Witherspoon is vulnerable to getting picked on, which I'm curious about because
he's like a 3-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah. He's very good. Yeah. So I'm a little bit confused by that. I know the rookie Imanori is like the do everything player.
Yes,
but
that's listed. Another guy that you can like kind of, I don't know.
He might be harder
from him, but yeah,
he might be harder to sort of identify and then protect against if he's in the box, like whatever he's doing. Similar to, I guess, in a lesser sense, how the Patriots have been utilizing Marcus Jones, where they like send him off the edge a lot, both against the run and the pass. Like, so it's that one's maybe harder to scheme and plan against.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The way that, I don't know, if Witherspoon's lined up and it's Mac Hollins, then it's like you got 3 other guys you're very comfortable throwing to on that snap. So you're doing all right.
100%. But no, I think to wrap this specific conversation up.
No. We're wrapping up all Super Bowl preview talk Monday, 4:30 Eastern. Everyone has to stop now.
Oh no. I think that people probably do not give the Patriots defense enough credit overall. I think that's one of the big reasons why there's so many people potentially expecting a Seahawks blowout. And I think a big reason for that is just because the Patriots don't have big names on defense except for Christian Gonzalez. Because even Milton Williams, like he was like the 3rd guy on the Eagles defensive line last year.
There's a rule, right? Where like you have to literally be Aaron Donald in order to be a defensive tackle that people talk about. Like Fletcher Cox. Like you have to be elite for a decade.
Yeah.
And then people are like, all right, fine, defensive tackle. I will acknowledge like it's
because even on the Seahawks, like no one's writing crazy features about Leonard Williams this week, or Byron Murphy.
Right. And it's just sort of part of the job. And I remember one of the more difficult things of voting as a PFWA member when I was doing that is when you're like trying to pick your all-pro tackles. And it's like, you understand why Aaron Donald wins so many. Cause you're like, I guess Aaron Donald's getting my,
let's throw Aaron Donald. Let's throw JJ Watt in there. Yeah.
You're just not analyzing every snap of every defensive tackle. And it's not as sexy of a position, but we're on the record. Like Milton Williams can win you this game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to get into MVP betting. But whatever he is, I bet like it's worth an eyeball check because I don't know. What if he has 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery? What if he scores defensively? He could be that guy.
This episode is brought to you by Prizepicks. And whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard. But in life and on Prizepicks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend, elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prizepicks lets you take control. I want to bring up Prizepicks Because if you're talking about Milton Williams and some stats, do you think you want to put your money where your mouth is?
I do, Doug. I want him on there.
And have him on one of our Prizepicks lineups, because I think we're going to have a lot of Prizepicks lineups this week.
Yeah.
So do you want me to tell you something related to what do you feel most confident about with Milton Williams this week?
What do we have for options stat-wise?
So we got sacks.
It's got to be 0.75, right?
It's 0.25.
Oh, I like it.
All right.
He's getting in there. He's attacking the rookie guard. He's attacking the bad guard.
Yeah.
He's too good. He's too good.
I think it's probably a little bit risky to go with like tackles for him. So
I agree.
I think tackles plus assists. Yeah, he's at 2.5.
Nah.
I don't know. That doesn't feel great.
I mean, if he gets a couple sacks, then you like where you're at. But no, it's you can't control where the run game goes.
Christian Gonzalez, tackles plus assists, 5.5. How are we feeling about that?
Well, you assume even if he like locks down or like is on Smith and Jigba, like he'll still have 5 catches.
I agree. Yeah,
he got burned last week. He got the tackle. He gets involved a lot in tackling more than I think we're accustomed to star cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a weird one.
It is a weird one.
But
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, we're weird people, so I don't mind it.
All right, I think we need one on the Seahawks side then. Anything you're feeling Seahawks wise?
How many? Well, I mean, what's Smith and Jigba's catch? It's got to be high.
Smith and Jigba's receptions is 7.5, and you cannot take less.
Best to stay away.
I agree. It's Cooper Kupp 1.5.
Oh, I like that one. I like the more than there.
Yeah, I like that too. All right.
He's been catching the ball in the playoffs. I think he had 5 last week and 4 the week before.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that feels good.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's toss in Drake May, half a passing yard. How's that feel?
I think that. How's the shoulder? Can he get it forward? Can you throw a forward pass?
I believe he can. I believe in Drake May. All right. So $5 to win, $48.75. We are hitting submit right now, live from Radio Row. The Christian Gonzalez thing. I did want to talk about that real quick because it's funny. One of the reasons why he supposedly dropped in the draft was like a lack of physicality. Yeah. And that really has not been an issue whatsoever for him in the NFL.
He is very physical.
He gets in the mix. He gets in the mud.
Isn't that how he got hurt his rookie year in Dallas? Wasn't it making a tackle? I think it was making a tackle. He hurt his shoulder. Was it his shoulder, arm, elbow? I don't know. But shoulder. He doesn't just go through the motions when it's one-on-one in the flat and someone else is coming out. He takes people out. Like
he takes people out. I think his big move is to like take people out by the legs. He just kind of dives at their legs. And like, sure, that's not like a wrap-up tackle, but it's pretty effective for him.
Yeah, and it's like he's not super jacked or anything, but he's a pretty big guy. Like he's
What is he?
6'2", 6'3"?
6'1", 200, somewhere around there.
Yeah, but if it was a high school roster,
205,
6'3". But he's built enough to make those plays. But yeah, I think he's more so than he's not a finesse corner, despite being as graceful a corner as there is in the league.
The other knock on him was like, does he have the drive? Does he have the personality? And like, does he have the personality? No, but he clearly has the drive. He doesn't really say anything, but he's got that quiet confidence that you can always tell. He's like always smirking when people ask about things.
That's true. And you can see why teams might have been like, I don't know if he has the fire because he's just sort of a chill guy.
Yeah.
But even like, I don't know. Compare him to like Aqib Talib on the field and him. Couldn't be any different. But if the end result is this, even that mic'd up clip where Sutton was complaining for the call, a different corner would have been telling him to shut the F up, would have been telling him, and he was just kind of like, well, actually, this is what happened. And he was just like, well, we're playing ball. And then it was just like, move, like, it's just not. Yeah. But I think what he's proving is it really doesn't matter.
No, I think people should probably take less.
Just watch the tape.
Stock in the personality and the bravado, I guess you would say.
Actually, like, if the personality is bad the other way, that's probably more detrimental than if you're just kind of a chill guy. People are chill. I have a question for you about another cornerback.
Please.
And his name is Joby. Sounding a lot like I love you, man, Jobin. And that's all I had to say about it. I'm going to say Jobin a lot during the Super Bowl.
Cool. That's great. I love that for you.
Just wanted to wrap up on the smart note.
No, Josh Joby, not as good.
No, a lot of pass breakups, which tells you they throw to him a lot.
Throw to him a lot. All right, I think this will be a shorter pod overall, but did you have any other notes that you wanted to get to first?
Yeah, well, so you're off to media night.
It's true.
And I think,
let's talk media night.
Let's peel back the curtain, because first of all, you have to drive 3.5 hours to San Jose to a convention center. Everyone's dream, like, oh, I've always wanted to be in the San Jose Convention Center. Can I rant for a second? We're already in a convention center. You got to go to a different
sitting in a convention center. Now we have to go to a different convention center for this?
It's like similar if
touring convention centers of the Bay Area or the Super Bowl.
I guess like if the Patriots were ever to host a Super Bowl, which they won't, it would be like if you're in Boston at some in like the South Boston Convention Center, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But you got to go down to Providence to like the Dunkin' Donuts Center for media night. You'd be like, what?
Yeah.
But we're already all here.
We're in a city.
And like if you were going to Santa Clara to Levi Stadium, that would be cool. That would make sense. Oh, we're in the stadium. It's Super Bowl week. The players would be like,
the Warriors arena, maybe the Sharks arena.
Well, the Warriors pretty close to you. Sharks just as far, but yeah, better than a convention center.
Better than another convention center.
Yeah. So kind of sucks. I think so. It used to be, everyone knows this, maybe, I think, during the day.
Oracle Park, that would be cool.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be great. They screwed up. Now, it used to be during the day, and it was media day. And you'd go, and there was clowns there. There was loose. The players enjoyed, I think, being at the stadium. It was sort of a Super Bowl week has begun, and it's real now.
Yeah.
Now it's like they put you on stage. They've got up lighting like it's a wedding. And it's just, there's this like, hey, dance for us, clowns.
Yeah.
And I don't think it works. Like, it's such a bad TV. They have fans in the building trying to listen.
Does anyone actually watch this?
I don't think so. Like, I think you used to get more out of it when media would go and make fun packages and show them to you at night. But like the live
aspect, time to actually put them together for you at night. Whereas now when it's at night, there's basically nothing to do with this content.
Yeah. It's like, it just disappears. And like, even, I mean, I don't know that anyone cares about this part, but like in Houston, remember Brady crying and saying, "My dad's my hero"?
Yeah.
I was there. I didn't know he said that because I couldn't get within.
How could you possibly know? Yeah.
I couldn't get within 500 people of Tom Brady, let alone hear what Tom Brady was saying. So it's like kind of like from a, reporting standpoint, you're like, what am I even doing here?
Right.
A lot of time.
No, it's true. It's a little silly.
I texted you after last week to send a picture. Phoenix was the worst.
Phoenix was cramped as hell.
They put us on a basketball court.
Yeah.
Not large enough. And then it got more and more because that was still the day.
Yeah.
And so by the Seahawks time, more people were coming in on Monday. And I couldn't get from here to there. And I just left. I'm like, this is a fire hazard. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, I'm doing that tonight. I got a plan. We'll see how effective it is. But I think everyone has to have a plan going in. Otherwise, you're just lost.
You going to ask Christian Gonzalez if he's going to cover Jackson Smith and Jigba?
No.
Are you going to ask Jackson Smith and Jigba if he's excited to go up against Christian Gonzalez?
I might do that.
I did. Have you had any good celebrity encounters at these? I had a couple.
Oh, JB Smoove was at one of them. That was
He's
fun.
on my list. He was so nice.
Yeah, he was great.
I did like hey man, not to bother you, but I'm a big fan. I love you on the curb. And he gave me like a hug and he was like, thank you. He was so nice. And I was like, wow, JB Smoove.
That's awesome. Beyond that, I don't think so. Not memorable ones.
I don't know if it counts as a celebrity sighting, but I was talking with Dave Portnoy when he did his like incognito disguise with his fake credential.
Yeah.
I talked to him for a little bit and then I was like, I should probably.
I talked to PFT commenter at one of them. I actually also at the Super Bowl 10 years ago, I was in the auxiliary press box and I sat next to PFT commentator for the entire game. And he was like workshopping his jokes out loud before tweeting them out. So I heard them first all game. Yeah. And that was really a year or two before he joined
so how the sausage was made.
It was. I saw how it was made. Yeah. It was
great. But yeah, I don't know, like remember in Atlanta, we did I think it was where the Hawks play, right?
I think so.
And then we had a right after, and we were in like a YMCA gym. I felt like I was in middle school. So it's a weird setup. I hope the convention center's nice for you.
I hope it's the greatest convention center I've ever been in, because Moscone Center is fine, but hopefully San Jose is even better.
Yeah, you're gonna really get comfortable with that drive down there. So you'll be doing it all week.
It's true. I drove I rode in a driverless car yesterday.
How was that? I don't think I'd enjoy that. A lot of
I was in a Waymo. Waymo talk will be the last section of Pat's chat.
Oh.
So make sure to leave your reviews now before we get into Waymo chat. But it was actually kind of awesome because you don't have to talk to anyone. There's like a screen in the driver's seat or whatever that shows everything's highlighted that they'll have to avoid. So you see like cars highlighted, pedestrians highlighted, any sort of like things that are in the way. So you have a pretty good system and sense of like how it works. So I don't know. It was kind of cool. I don't like the idea of taking jobs away from people, like drivers.
Sure.
But I don't know. It was a pretty good experience. It was like $20 to get down to my sister's house who lives in San Francisco. It really wasn't bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit of a boomer about it.
When we were in San Francisco last, we did not do the Waymo. But I think if I have to take a car somewhere, I'm going to keep doing Waymos.
All right. I mean, good luck.
It's a Jaguar car. So you're in the lap of luxury.
That doesn't mean what it used to mean. Sorry.
You can put Spotify on in the car.
I'm not sold. I have Spotify in my ears anywhere. Modern technology.
What if someone's yapping your ear off in the front seat?
I had a situation. Everything went haywire. Travel this summer. I had to take I think I said it on the podcast. I had to take an Uber from Boston to Hyannis.
Yes.
And I got in and I felt bad about it.
Yeah.
And I was being friendly.
Yeah.
And the guy literally, like, luckily he did this, very politely was like, "Shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you for the whole ride." And I was like, sick. And he's
That's
like,
awesome.
He was like, "Oh, I'm on this call." I'm like, okay. And then the whole ride I'd have to say a word. I'm like, oh, thank God he did that, because I would have been yapping like an idiot.
Some Uber drivers really just do talk way too much. I had a very nice gentleman in New Orleans this year who really wanted to talk for the entire drive from the airport. And it was, listen, it's fine, but it's not ideal.
I agree. A
robot will not talk to you.
Yet. They'll learn, they're going to study you and figure out what it is that humans do in the car. And then eventually replicate it and start their own website. I had one last note on my notebook.
Please.
Because I have in the past said we get some good YouTube comments. Mm-hmm. And so I just spent that time double checking. The username is WSMC3, commented on our last one as I was naming people who were rude to me.
Oh yeah.
I was airing out my grievances. And he said spats chat.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one. I just really appreciated that. That's a good comment.
Do you have any other spats? Have you gotten any spats at Super Bowl week?
Oh, Super Bowl week spats. Not a spat, but one time it was a Monday night Patriots-Jets game back then. I'm just letting it rip.
I know.
And there's one elevator at Gillette. It's a terrible setup.
It's ridiculous.
But what are you going to do? It is what it is. So
and there's no stairs.
No, one time, at least once, I've taken the service elevator. Like, they walked us around and went in like the big industrial one. But so I'm waiting. It's Monday night. It's Patriots Jets, like Rex Ryan era. It was probably the 45-3 game. You wait, one crowd goes, the next, and then we get like stopped at the door, and Mike Lupica threw a fit, just like, "This is effing ridiculous." And I was like, I don't know what you want. Like, you got to wait for the elevator. I don't know. Like, everyone's got to wait for the elevator, Mike. I didn't say that to him because I was like 24.
Yeah.
But I felt it. That's not a spat, but just a little.
No, that's fun.
You ever have a spat? You got yelled at for holding your phone in front of someone's face on the field once by a cameraman. Oh yeah,
yeah, I did.
Which a lot of times people don't know in a scrum, you're holding your thing up, and if you're in someone's shot, the photographer's just going to gently push your arm down, and you're like, "Oh, got it."
Yeah.
But you got told to F off or something.
He got really mad, and it was just like, "Bro, I've never even seen you down here before. Please calm yourself. You could be a normal human being about this." I don't think that's the way I put it, but that's what was going on in my head.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been doing sports media as a whole, as an entity for, I don't know, 100 years more. Cameras have been involved for the last 60 to 70. Somehow we still haven't figured out scrums.
Scrums are tough, especially this week, Doug, when you're at those little podiums at the hotel. And like, if say you want, it's not the same, but like they set up the little podiums, like 10 podiums in the hotel ballroom.
Yeah.
And it's all TV cameras around the quarterback. And the camera operators aren't asking questions. So you got to like crawl around them and yell over them.
Oh, it's so
Whereas
bad. So
if we could just build a little riser and have a little aux box and let the reporters ask the questions in front of the players, I don't know why they haven't figured that out yet.
Orders space in front and then have the cameras elevated behind.
Yeah, and they plug right in. They don't have to deal with it.
Everyone wants to get close. Everyone feels like they have to get right in the face, right there.
They do make cameras with zoom lenses now. It's pretty sick.
Wow.
You can zoom in from a distance.
Must be a new invention.
Yeah, they're working on rolling it out nationwide. But anyways, yeah, no, I would say most media people are nice. So not too many spats. But I will start thinking.
Can't wait to hear spats chat in the future. We've got some more shows coming up this week. We'll talk about when we're going to do them. But real quick, I also did not mention that if you use code CLNS on Prizepicks, then you get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And that is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, it's good to be right. So go use Prizepicks, use our lineup to be a big winner, and we will be back more from Radio Row this week with more podcasts. So goodbye.
Bye.